On the last day of the monsoon session of Parliament, the Lok Sabha approved amendments to the Central and Integrated GST laws to levy 28% tax on the full face value of bets in online gaming, casinos and horse race clubs. In fact, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman introduced the bills in the House today, the last day of the monsoon session of Parliament, and this happened amid opposition protests. In fact, the opposition has said that the bill has been passed without discussion. Priyanshi is now joining us live in studio to help us understand what this really means, what changes for us, and what really are the experts saying and what the concerns of the industry really are. So Priyanshi, it's over to you.
That's right, Vedant. Two crucial GST bill, the two GST amendment bills have been passed in the Lok Sabha. The Central and Integrated GST bills have been passed. Those were introduced by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, and they've been passed on the same day as they were introduced, and the opposition has said that the bills have been passed without any discussion. Now, what is this bill? This bill incorporates a 28% GST on online gaming, casinos and horse racing. Now, this is not unexpected or new. The GST Council had already decided on this tax in its July meeting. Now, what is defined as taxable online gaming? The Ministry of Finance has clarified that the amendments do not affect the tax on casual online gaming in which no real money or no betting is involved. So, which activities does it tax? Online money gaming, which means online gaming in which players pay or deposit money or virtual digital assets in the expectation of winning money or virtual digital assets. This can be in any event, including a game, a scheme online, a competition, or any other activity or process, whether or not its outcome or performance is based on skill or chance. So even skill-based games that involve money, those will also be taxed on face value at 28%. So fantasy sports and for betting apps such as Dream 11, you will have to pay a tax of 28% or 28% GST. Now this GST also applies to betting, casinos, gambling, horse racing and lottery as well. From when will this be imposed? The law doesn't define a date, but the tax is likely to be implemented by October 1st this year. But there are several concerns with this bill. The gaming industry experts call the tax irrational, and they say that the rate will bring challenges to an industry that has been booming for the last couple of years. They say that it's a blow to India's gaming startup ecosystem. But the government has been saying that there's no effect that the amendments will have on startup ecosystems in India, as it brings a parity between international entities and domestic ones. But despite the government's assurances that it won't impact startups, the industry experts call this bill a retrograde step that will hurt the thriving sector, and the move will also lead to job losses. They say that there will be job losses and the industry will be hurt. Many say the industry will be murdered because many people won't take the risk of online gaming if they have to pay a high tax of 28%. Remember, 28% is the highest GST tax bracket, and that highest bracket has been levied on online gaming. Entrepreneur Ashnir Grover is one of the people who's criticized, and he criticized the move with an example. He said if the government is thinking that people will put in 100 rupees to play on 72 rupees spot entry, deducting 28% GST, and if they will win 54 rupees after the platform fee, then they will pay 30% TDS on that as well. So that's clearly not happening. He said it was good fun being part of the fantasy gaming industry, which stands murdered now, and he said $10 billion are down the drain in this monsoon. He also said it's time for startup founders to enter politics and be represented, or this is going to be the spate of the industry, and not just the gaming industry, but industry after industry. The All India Gaming Federation, E-Gaming Federation and Federation of Indian Fantasy Sports also said this tax will mean the demise of the online skill gaming industry in India. So how big of an industry are we talking about here? In India, the gaming industry is valued at, if we talk about the figure for 2020, the gaming industry is valued at around $2 billion. Now, over 200 platforms are there on the gaming industry. In 2022, the value was $2.8 billion, and it's projected to reach $5 billion in the year 2025. There are over 200 platforms, and India is the world's largest fantasy sports market. In 2022, the value was $2.8 billion, as I said. If we talk about the total online gamers in India, in 2022, they were 420 million. In 2023, they went up to 450 million, while they're projected projected to reach 500 million by the year 2025. And let's talk about actual paying players now, people who put in money in online games who will now be taxed. In 2020, there were 80 million paying players, which went up to 95 million in the year 2021. That shows you that the industry was clearly growing, but the experts are saying that this bill is going to stop that growth.